The transmogs in the game really give you this this sense of like visceral power progression for your character,
Right.
and so they're meant to really like bring that to life, grounded in Diablo's story and its world and its lands. And what the shop offers is a lot of diversity. So like the way that we wanted diversity of like the fantasies
Sure.
that you can experience and that you can express. So the way that we wanted to support the development of the seasons was to, add things to the game that players would appreciate. To create art and beautiful things that are grounded in Diablo 4's world and its art style, but
Hey guys, sorry I'm
provide
late.
this like array of class fantasies. And so, for example, if you want to be like a thunder goddess as a sorceress, or you want to be a big barbarian that like rips the tongues out of your enemies and puts them on your armor.
Very specific. That was very specific.
I like it though. That's good.
Slightly unsettling, but very specific.
Yeah,
You can, the shop is going to help provide a lot of this like diversity in the types of fantasies, and then you can take all those
I don't know why they try to sell the
and
shop.
mix and match them
It's
with the
just to
cool
make
stuff
money.
that you find in the
Chill out.
game to express yourself all
That's
kinds
just
of
the way it is.
ways.
Yeah, I think one fun thing about this too, like players got a chance.
The
Like I saw,
tongue ripping, is that the fun thing? Is
There's-
absolutely,
yeah, tongue
absolutely.
ripping.
But no, I was actually going to talk about our previous betas. We got a chance to see a lot of players making really cool looking customized characters in the game, and all of the gear they're collecting, it's still very low level gear. Like there's much more stuff to go find.
Wait, there's
Yeah,
more
wait
beyond
till you
level
get
20?
to the end game.
There's a lot more looks and appearances to find as you're progressing through more of the game.
One of the things I love about the equipment that's in the game is that we actually do regional themed armor and such.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, this is not.
Here's our
are
side
cool.
by side.
This is not my
like
point,
this.
but it's fine. It's good to speak to your point.
I'll be honest, I like the
all I was
store
gonna
one
say
better,
quickly
but
before,
okay.
so Kay can come back and talk about this. But I just think it's really cool that we have like regional looks, like the notion of like, oh, there's a there's like a Hauser look, and there is a Fractured Peaks look, and that kind of thing. That just kind of interesting that when you go into a particular zone in the world and you start collecting loot, you're actually picking up pieces that are of that zone, so you can actually dress more like a person from that zone if you want.
That's good.
That's right, particularly of the legendary gear when you're leveling up 100%. Yeah, so there's a lot more to discover even after that as you get into world tiers and more.
Did you want to, Kegan? You want to talk us through some of the examples?
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the shop armors.
This is tongue ripping, right?
Yeah, there's a,
No,
you can see
no.
blood right out of their mouth, right there.
I don't know if the names are final, but this guy, I think his name is Death Raven, the shop guy. But yeah, so you can see sort of like a side by side of in-game armor for the barb versus like a shop armor.
I think I just want to one thing. I think it's so funny that we accidentally got these really awesome poses for the in-game armors, and all the shop armors are just a person standing in the street.
Deadpan.
Like this was
checking his look in the mirror.
This
Like,
wasn't
you're not gonna
completely
get-
intentional, but it was a
Actually, I
funny.
wish the
Totally
pose is the
accurate.
same so I
It's
can
two
compare
different
it.
teams
I think
made
this one looks
the
way
the
cooler.
pictures, but
It's
yeah.
just like this.
But yeah, let's look through some of the other side by sides. Again, see
She's
the
very
sorceress.
excited to have found
She's
the
just like,
armor.
oh, I'm here. And then we have one of my favorites from the shop there. Oh yes, and this is Rogue side by side, so you can see. I think
This is
the
good.
shop Rogue here is called Deathwalker. So keep an eye out for tons of
What's
really
the chat
cool,
saying?
diverse
I love the
fantasies in the
tassets.
shop.
I love the tassets on the in-game armor, and I love the pauldrons on the shop armor.
Just use the word
so cool.
tacit. I didn't.
There's
know
honestly like
I've been in fancy games
the
for a long time.
MTX is focused
People
on
are
collection,
positive.
right? Like it's not like we're trying to like put only the cool stuff in one channel or the other.
Yeah.
There's awesome stuff to collect from the game and the shop.
And like you said earlier, like you can mix and match, create.
Yeah,
your
I
own
mean, like this
fantasy,
in-game
which
one
is
is
See,
fucking
now we're talking
awesome. I
about
love
language
this.
necro. But like, for example, if I really like the in-game look, but I want that the shop helmet, like when I buy that armor set, I can take that helmet and apply it to my in-game if I wanted to. Yes.
That's right, and you can dye everything.
Oh, in the
So,
wardrobe,
like,
I
Oh
can
wow!
actually recolor
You
it.
can dye the
yeah,
shop
you can dye
gear
everything
too. That's
from
cool.
the shop and in the game. I think there are 8 colors in the dye palette, so yeah.
It's
Yeah, if
lit.
you haven't had a chance to check that out during Server Slam, you should make sure that you get a chance to play the wardrobe and try dyeing some gear.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So that's customization. And then one more thing is related to customization, not tied to appearances and looks, which I think we already have a good coverage on. But you will also be adding new like legendary powers, like I called out before, and also new unique items with every new season. make sure there's like new builds and ways to kind of like create customized characters.
And those will stay. Those aren't seasonal. Those
Yeah,
are,
those will be going to the Eternal Realm as well as the Seasonal Realm,
Okay.
and they're going to be evergreen. They're going to be there after the season
Very
is over,
cool.
which continue to add to the pool.
And so speaking of evergreen, like that's true. Like there's potential to add side quests and things like that. Like there's ways to continue to enrich the open world through seasons that will actually stay as people sort of move from the season into the Eternal Realm or to the next season. Yes.
Yep, 100%. We are going to be looking for those opportunities to kind of continue to add to the world of Diablo 4 and continue to build out Sanctuary. These are things that we're really excited about as a team.
And we never
Great.
actually. I think that maybe that might have been the first time someone's mentioned the Eternal Realm, but like that is the intention, much like Diablo 3, that a seasonal character will be in the season playing everything that we've been talking about so far, and then when that season ends, that character will then move to the Eternal Realm where it will live on, and you can choose to play there, or you can choose for the next season roll a new seasonal character and go again. Yeah.
That's absolutely right. So the characters will get merged down in the Eternal Realm at the end of the season, giving you an opportunity to take some of the stuff that they collected over that period of time and then build a new character as part of the next season.
Yeah, there's no reason to feel like to shy away from starting a new character on the season because you will retain all of that progress.
Absolutely.
Great.
Okay, cool. And so what about when we think about when I play the main game outside of a season, we know we have capstone dungeons to be able to change my difficulty tier. We know that at the end there's a mysterious level 100 boss that I want to try to get max out and prove I can beat this level 100 boss at level cap. Like,
Good.
are there other things within seasons
like
that are
that.
kind of like that, or how do I think about that sort of notion about like this sort of looking to the horizon? of what I wanna
Aspirational
do?
content.
But once again, Rod Ferguson, I couldn't ask for a better tee up in this case. Let's discuss the idea of aspirational challenges.
That's exactly
so
what I
with
said.
every season,
Hey.
we want to continue to build upon the end game and the goals that players are going to have for themselves with every season of Diablo.
This is important.
4. And we've got some particularly big ideas as we go through the first couple of seasons when the game launches. So with every season, but we do want to continue to add these really, really pinnacle challenges for players to go and engage with.
Pickle challenges?
Pinnacle challenges.
Pinnacle.
I think you said, I honestly heard
challenges?
We all heard pickle
zombies
challenges.
and pickles is,
Yeah.
All right,
There
okay,
we
well,
go.
fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so
Throw in
maybe,
some mayo in there.
at
It's a
SummerSlam.
sandwich.
With
this is the level of respect that Joseph Pipe War, Associate Game Director, gets on Diablo.
Yeah.
4.
I'm looking forward to the pickle challenges, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, same. Okay, so basically, we want to make sure that we've got these new big challenges for players to go and engage with every time we release a season. And as we go, we'll continue to add more depth to this. One thing we want to be very careful about is we're not looking to just sort of like arbitrarily continue to make the game longer and longer and longer and longer to play.
That's what PoE
not the
did.
goal. Again, we are balanced around hitting level 100, earning your Paragon points, getting all the legendary unique items. That's the real focus of power progression for the player. We want to provide new and distinct opportunities for players to kind of express that power and new goals for them to chase over the course of the season, without necessarily making like just more stuff that you have to go through in order to play the game. So yeah, things we're very excited about. New bosses, new major encounters, new dungeons, new things. And then as we see how players are reacting to the game as it is, we'll continue to build in that direction as well.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting when we talked about like side quests and things like that. It's also true kind of for the end game is that we may use seasons to experiment with new in-game features, and then if it's working really well, we might decide to keep it. If it's not working quite so well, we may have it leave.
That's
with the
exactly what
season,
PoE
and then
does.
Maybe bring it back later. And what I like about the kind
We
of
have
quarterly
Manamorph and not
seasonal
Synthesis.
flow we have going is that it allows us to
Same with
experiment a little
Sanctum.
bit and see what works and what doesn't. And if it doesn't work, we know it's only there for 3 months. If it does work, hey, maybe we should have it stick around. So
I
it's a
wish
great
they do this more with
opportunity
WoW.
to try stuff out.
Absolutely, particularly as it relates to content too. So like just being able to bring in like these really tough encounters and different bosses and things of that nature. And then these mechanical features, as we see how they perform and we see how players react to them, we may or may not decide to keep them on, to your point. And if they're particularly popular, we decide to keep them in.
Awesome.
We want to hear from players about what's working, what they're enjoying, and also, what kinds of fantasies they want us to make in the shop. So let us know anything that you want, gameplay or from the shop and battle.
Yeah,
Pass.
it's like I said earlier, this is ultimately going to be a conversation. And as we see how players are actually playing Diablo 4, that's going to help us advise us on how we want to build Diablo 4.
That's unironically probably the best answer you could
necro
give.
Look, I'm looking for a corpse exploding necro.
I think we got you covered.
Oh, okay.
You're going to have to stay tuned for a future season.
I thought it got nerfed.
Okay, good to know.
And I will
covered.
say, like, I know we glossed over it really quickly, but we were talking about like meta changes and things like that, and like balancing and whatnot. That is included in the feedback. That is incredibly important for hearing from players related to that.
Yeah, I don't want to skip over that either. Thank you, Adam, for calling that out. So, if Diablo 4 is a game about choice, we want to make sure that we don't allow balance issues persist so long that they start to kind of interrupt or disrupt that choice that we're trying to provide for players. We don't want any one
that'd be
particular
good.
build to feel so powerful that there's not a reason to play other builds. within a season.
Yeah,
So we
exactly.
want to make adjustments to make sure that player builds that might not be seeing as much play, and get buffed and adjusted appropriately. Make sure that they do see more use as time goes on.
17 damage, yeah.
Making those changes on a regular basis.
Yeah, we don't want one way to play. We want every class and to have builds that all are equally as effective in terms of being successful. We don't want to be like only Whirlwind Barbarians can succeed, so only everybody's playing.
Yeah, that's the ideal.
No, that's
reality is
fine.
Every
No.
season's going to be like something that's a little bit
No,
more
it's
powerful
okay.
than something else.
Just stick with
We
that.
just want to make sure that the distinction, the
sounds
divide
good.
there is not so
Yeah,
great
I'm
that
happy.
it feels like you're making the wrong choice mathematically to ever play anything beyond whatever's considered meta for that moment.
Right. Well,
Right.
it's not like RPG players are min-maxers at all. They never try to do the most with the least ever.
No.
Joe,
like,
deadpan.
I'm not sorry for that. I think in the spirit of managing expectations and ripping band-aids off, I do think there's something we haven't talked about that we should at least say, knowing that we haven't talked about, which is leaderboards. I think the notion that I think people with Diablo 3 and even like D2R as an example, the main thing about a D2R season is a leaderboard.
Yeah.
And so just saying that in the early seasons, at least for season 1 and 2, there will not be a leaderboard.
Okay.
And that is something, again, as I said, a lot of stuff's already in flight. We understand the importance of leaderboards. We understand people wanting to be competitive in their PvE play, competitive in their build play, be able to show their mastery of certain things. And so it's definitely on our backlog that is a thing we're working towards, to provide the player community with leaderboards as we move forward through seasons, but it's
why
not
not?
something you're going to see in season 1 and potentially not in season 2. Again, I'm just managing expectations so you're not yelling at me on Twitter after. We hear you. We know we want it. We're working on it. It's just not going to be there at launch.
Okay.
That's season 1 and 2.
That's right. So we're going to take the time to do them right. We'll bring them online as soon as we can.
Because they rushed it out?
Well,
I don't know.
I know we have a lot of questions here, and we've been collecting questions through chat and so forth like that. So I did want to go into at least a little bit of Q&A from people in chat. So if you guys have questions, feel free to throw them in chat, and we'll try to answer as many as possible. But I know we did touch on this really quickly.
I
as
want
we're
to
collecting
know.
these questions
Yeah,
right
when
now.
does season 1 come out?
When will season 1 launch?
Do they have a date for it?
Mid to late July.
Mid to late July. So
I mean, the reason around the timing is twofold. One is we want to make sure that we will launch this season, we launch it into the best state the game can be in to accept that season. We don't, there's a launch of a game of this scale there can always be some things that we have to work through and settle in. But two is just again, as Joe talked about, you need to be able to get through the campaign before you start the season. So by having enough time in what we call the preseason, and so in the preseason, Kagan, no battle pass because it's a preseason, but there will be basically a sort of a reduced scope shop. Yes.
No battle
there will
pass.
be some things you can buy. You can
Well, how do
sort
I
of
know how to
get a
play the
sense of
game?
What we have, there's armor sets.
What the
mounts,
hell?
And mount armors, and then there's some other cool things.
How am I
like
supposed to know what to
emotes
do?
And headstones. So like if you die on the field of battle, you can leave behind a monument that is special.
That's good. They did that
As
with
we
Classic
said,
WoW.
Hardcore players, careful of PvP. When you die, you're dead.
yeah, dead forever.
Dead forever.
Yeah.
So.
In the game.
No, we come to your house. We know where you
We
live.
don't have that kind of budget.
I thought that was
No
our,
crash.
I thought that was our Butcher April Fool's thing.
It
We
is-
come
it
to your
is.
house and we kill you.
True hardcore mode. So that is a popular question that we've gotten where people were confused by like, hey,
Oh, these
if you
guys
die
are
in
great.
hardcore, like,
I love it.
do you come back to life or do you just like start off?
On
like,
hinge? Yeah, they're
with
nuts.
Gear or something
Roll
like
again,
that. It's like,
start
no,
again.
Yeah, you
start all
start
over
again.
again.
Yeah.
But that's
and in PvP too.
But yes.
And that speaks to something that as we talk about the shop and customization, is one of the things is that when you buy one of the things that's sort of different, the battle pass as you talked about is the armor and those sorts of things are class agnostic. That when I buy something or when I get something in the battle pass, I can apply it to whatever class I'm playing.
Oh, I didn't know
but
that.
The shop is different because the shop you can actually target. I can go and say, oh, I want
I
this
guess that was from
necromancer
Diablo
look,
Immortal.
and it's not, and it doesn't go
And
across.
it's very specific to like the necromancer fantasy.
Right, but it's not character based; it's account based. So if I, for whatever reason, roll 5 necromancers, I can apply that armor to all 5 of them. Right.
all future necromancers that you ever create.
any
so for
necromancer.
the
Okay.
infinite rogue like me, it's gonna get. I'm gonna get a lot of value.
Right. Okay, great.
All right, I'm gonna try to pronounce these names, and some of them are easy, thankfully. But I'm going to try to include people.
I was going to say, he's like, I'm going to try this, but Bob asks.
That's
good job, Adam. You nailed that one.
Great disclaimer.
Stop myself on the back there. So we have a question from Negative Capable. If we get the premium battle pass late, is the favor retroactively applied?
It is.
That's
you
good.
will earn
That's
the
good they add
favor,
that.
and then it will unlock the tiers that, like the premium.
Most games
tiers
have
that,
this, but I'm glad they have it too.
You didn't unlock because you hadn't unlocked the premium battle pass yet.
Yeah, like you'll still earn everything in the free track as well. Like you're kind of making progress like the whole time.
The whole
It's
time.
just a question of
Yeah.
whether or not when you get the premium versions, when you get to get all the premium rewards you
Yeah,
move
then
unlock.
it'll just suddenly unlock all those like locked premium tiers that you already went through.
And just a reminder,
Great.
premium tiers just being obviously the cosmetics blessings are part of the free.
See, Adam
right.
does
There are
community
no-
management.
there's
He
no
knows what
smoldering
people are going
ash
to
in
think.
Zip, zero,
Yep.
no smoldering ash, no paper powder.
It doesn't matter how many times you say it. The
And
game's going to be
no-
pay
no-
to
no
win,
paper power at
okay?
all.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm just saying no
Period.
smoldering
The
ash
people have
and
already made up their
Yes.
mind.
But that's also
It's pay to win.
Just to clarify, like that's also true of the season journey. Is that
Mm-hmm.
if I let's say
Yeah,
I'm starting,
it's too bad.
I'm not getting the game till much later. It's season 2, and I'm buying the game at season 2. When I play the campaign in the background, it's tracking the season journey accomplishments I'm doing while I'm playing the campaign. So it's not everything in the season journey is tied to like sort of open world seasonal play. It's also some things can be
Okay.
accomplished by playing the campaign. And so when I finish and I go into the seasons, all of a sudden, ding, 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 a bunch of stuff in the season journey it will complete. Yes.
Yeah, that's the expectations. You'll be able to move through that season journey a little more quickly if you start in the campaign. You might not be able to like finish every chapter as you go because there's going to be some things you have to kind of like participate in the season quest line or the
Right.
season mechanics in order to be able to really get. But you will be making progress the entire time. But I don't think your hypothetical case is likely to happen because obviously everybody is going to buy Diablo 4 on or before launch.
Right.
So yeah,
It's a good call.
Okay.
Question from
QR code right here. QR code.
If you would like to.
I did not see that when I said that. Now I'm even happier.
question from Juck Lax. Around what level will you end up getting to the mount specifically?
When do you get the mount? Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
question.
it was the
itself.
question itself. I'm just trying to like word correct.
I think that is around level 30-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, it's around.
So we'll get that
30-ish.
on day one.
that-
It depends. Like
Yeah, it
it
really
depends.
depends.
Every one of
It depends
these-
on
every one of
player.
these questions
True.
is going to be depending on how you play.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
open world playing and you're driving up your level before you do the golden path on
Yep.
the campaign? Like basically the.
So it's not like it's a reward for finishing the campaign.
Use different names.
You get it during the campaign.
But the mount is unlocked as part of your campaign progression.
Right.
So you have to play the campaign at some point to unlock the mount. If you decide
Right.
I'm not touching the campaign, I'm going to get to level 100 just in the open world, you will not unlock that horse.
That's
Okay.
completely true.
Yeah.
Question from Tatu. Are you going to move the altars each season so they're in different locations every single season?
Does it matter?
Right now, the plan is not to move them
'Cause
every
they don't
season. That's something
reset.
We've discussed as a team. We'll see what the feedback is like, but right now we don't want you to have to rediscover the locations every time if you're looking for them. But we'll see how things adjust as we play.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, why would that
Not
even
hard for us
matter?
to do.
And just to mess with you, we might anyway.
Maybe now
Bonuses
I
don't
will.
reset, but you get renowned. Oh, good point. Good point. You're right.
Question from Slimy Salt.
Forgot about that.
People need a
People-
bit.
yeah,
We need
yeah,
more.
yeah,
We
great
need more
names.
self-esteem in our community. I'm just telling you right now.
What about seasonal cosmetics? Are they account bound?
They are. So like if you unlock it, if you unlock I assume you're talking about the shop and battle pass cosmetics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you unlock a armor for your barbarian, all future barbarians that you ever make, and on the Eternal Realm, on the Seasonal Realm, it's usable on all of them.
Cool.
Yeah, that's about what I'd
Kiddo
expect. Great.
Asks,
Okay.
do ashes transfer over from previous seasons?
No. So with every new season, you'll be resetting and starting to go through your Ash collection once again.
It's also like one of the things maybe we didn't call it, but like the season, because there's season blessings. There was actually one that was top secret. So there'll be blessing. Those blessings we'll be playing with those. So
Yeah.
there'll be season specific blessings, and we may mess with what blessings are working or not. Again, it's part of the quality of life. Where we go like, hey, we see this as an issue, or this is not working the way, or we see another opportunity.
sure. I mean,
So
this is
another place we can play every season.
It's not that
Question
big of a
from
deal. All right.
Infernal Odin, do you need to have the premium battle pass for the blessings?
You do not.
Yeah. You don't.
That's why the
ashes are on the free track itself.
Bro, people are just like, they're so worried that something's going to be pay to win.
Again, there's two conditions. You have to have the favor to get to those free tiers, and you need to have the level requirements
ask a question.
so that you, again, so everybody's at the same place, kind of from a play perspective. So there's no way to accelerate
Is Diablo
that
4 going to be pay to win?
Skips to pay for power or not. It's because it's on the free track, and you have to have a certain level requirement to be able to unlock that that ash to be able to use in the blessing.
Oh, this is a long name. I'm not going to try. Is every season to level 100?
Oh, I thought that was their name.
Oh, that is all.
The question from is every season. I'm like, wow, that is a long name.
Every season to level 100.
I mean, the season is till to the point where the player decides they've hit all the goals they have for themselves.
Till you cry, uncle.
But I mean, you are going to start level 1, and you are going to play level 100. You know, if you choose to, with every season.
Right.
But it's up for a player to choose what goals they want to really go after.
I think he was asking if they were increasing the level cap.
Question from Wittels: will shop items stay in the shop, or will there be limited cosmetics too?
Oh, that is a great question. Sorry. So when items, the shop is actually personalized. There's limited shelf space in there, so you'll see a set of items in the shop.
Limited by
and then
who?
They'll swap out periodically. So in preseason, once a week on Tuesdays, some new things will come into the shop, some old things will come out of the shop. But when things leave, they're not like put into a vault. They will come back into the shop fairly frequently. Yeah.
I mean, everybody does this. That's just the way it is.
Recommended for you, which is one of the things that's really interesting. Is like when something leaves the shop, it actually goes into a pool of things that can be recommended.
Just the way it is, guys.
So if someone like Kagan, who's constantly playing Rogue, or somebody like me who's constantly playing Necro, they'll actually say like, hey, you seem to be playing a lot of Rogue. Here's some Rogue things that may either be new or something you may have missed previously, or hey, there's some Necro stuff. And so it's one of the things that's really nice about the shop is it has a little bit of that, intelligence, and then that has a sort of recommendation engine where it can go and say like, hey, I noticed these you seem to be really interested in blood-looking things. Here's a new blood-looking thing, that kind of stuff. So I think it'll be a nice way to keep the shop fresh and interesting and actually tailored to the person. So just to be so in the recommend for you, like Kagan's thing, her shop may look different with Rogue, as mine would be filled with Necros potentially. I mean, there'll be
ask again.
You'll get a mix,
right?
But it'll make. We want to make sure that the shop is serving you things that are actually interesting to you.
Well, yeah, because you want people to buy them.
Scroll through lots and lots of pages to find the exact thing you want. So,
okay.
But to answer the question, no, when things leave the shop, they are not gone for good. They will rotate back in, and the shop is trying to show you things that you want to buy. Yeah.
Right. But there are it's not just that section where things are being recommended. You also have class-specific areas. So even if I'm playing Necro all the time, but I'm really
has nobody used an in-game shop before? Like we know, guys. Come on.
That stuff's all there too. It's not like I'm limited to the stuff that it's recommending. I can go.
There's gonna be stuff on the store, and you can buy it. Sometimes you take it away just to make people buy it faster. I get it.
Do you lose all season progress when a hardcore character dies?
Ooh.
So the things you complete in the season journey are all account bound. So you won't lose that progress.
That makes sense.
The things that you collect on your character, that stuff's going to go away.
That makes sense, yeah.
So if you happen to find like really good gear or something, you're wearing it there, gone.
It's done.
But the chapters you've unlocked or the favor you've earned, that's
that all stays.
Absolutely true. Yep.
Yeah.
Death equals delete. I don't know why they don't just make it go to the other realm.
This is actually something that we should clarify.
PoE does.
So Tesday was asking, I'm missing something, or Ashes, is it still a pay-to-win mechanic since you can advance 20 levels on the pass by paying? The thing that you may have not caught was that there is a secondary requirement, which is you have to get to a specific level.
That's right.
To unlock that specific ash and
so even if you bust through those first 20 tiers by buying the accelerated pass, you won't have met the secondary level requirement on the free tiers that have smoldering ashes in them, so you won't be able to unlock them faster that way.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's like
from Tactica.
I'm trying to think of a game that has
Rod's
that
hoodie in the shop.
Rod's hoodie has been in the shop. Unfortunately, I sent people that were like, "Hey, if you want to go to this gear shop," and they only have smalls.
Yeah, you still have to play the game,
so
which is what's unfortunate.
If you can buy, if you're small, which I am not.
It's pay to win wall.
We
no,
are
it's the
very
opposite.
aware of certain things that we have in the shop that are very
That's
popular.
what they said.
One was the Lilith denim jacket with the hoodie sleeves that I think was awesome a couple of years ago that we didn't. I don't know why we didn't bring back.
We
And
were literally just talking about this before the stream started too.
yeah, exactly. And so we know we hear the comments that I wear this because in any interview that's required me to sit, I need to hide all the folds and stuff. So I use this as my shelter. But people like it, so I need to. We need to bring it back in the shop and get more stock. So that's where we are.
All right.
Let's see. There is a question regarding when you skip the campaign. This is from Master Barbarian. You're probably playing Barbarian.
It's not guaranteed.
Shocker.
When you skip the campaign, what level do you actually start at?
Level 1.
Level 1.
Every character you make in Diablo 4 is going to start at level 1.
Okay, and I think I answered this wrong on Twitter, so you can correct me. When someone asked me when you skip the campaign, where do you start? I knee-jerk said you start in the cave, and that's not true, right? When you skip the campaign, you start in Kyovashad.
Yes. So for season 1 and for the preseason, when you skip the campaign, you'll start in Kyovashad.
Okay.
Might not always be in Kyovashad.
Ooh.
Oh.
Foreshadowing. Dun, dun, dun.
I guess, yeah, sure.
You start in a grave as a zombie that you wake up and then you go into that.
Zombie thing.
Diablo 5.
Maybe it is, I don't know.
Now, people are just completely going to believe that. Like,
I know,
it's a
that's the
zombie
fun.
It's
thing.
all
was
pirates and
sure.
zombies from here on out.
Just don't get like.
I don't
heavily
think having
attached
to do the
zombie
campaign is
people.
not that big of a deal.
So like, it's not happening.
Will there be unlockable mounts or cosmetics through defeating like gameplay challenges, or will those only be through the shop itself?
Yes, there are some mounts and other things you can collect, like trophies, and certainly like titles and things along those lines that you will get from overcoming particular challenges throughout Diablo 4. So there's plenty of stuff to actually collect as well, not just even just like finding gear on the ground and picking it up and salvaging it. There's other things you'll get as like achievement level rewards for having completed certain kinds of content.
And seasons will have new titles and new things like that.
Yeah, seasons can have like new titles and like again, aspects or things you should be collecting as you play.
And then this is a question about the Server Slam stuff, which was if they had the open beta app on PlayStation, do they need to download a different one? The answer is no, you won't. Here in like the next couple minutes or so, you will be able to 2 minutes. Well, 2-ish minutes, just in case. 2-ish minutes. Please don't come after me at like 12 o'clock when it's like not available.
Oh no,
right
you should
then
totally
and there.
Pez radar on Twitter.
Please don't. But PlayStation, that app will actually automatically update and apply all the changes.
But it's a fresh start. You're starting at level 1.
Yes, all your characters from beta do not move over with this Server Slam. You will have to start with fresh start characters.
And to be clear, like, one good thing is this is a third opportunity to get, if you didn't get your wolf puppy pack, this is another opportunity. So if you reach level 20 with any character during Server Slam, which you have 48 hours to do it, and you could probably knock it out on a Friday with a little no lifing, but level 20 to get your beta puppy pack. And then we have a new reward around defeating a Shava at level 20. So
the horn,
and it has
right?
to be level 20.
Yep.
And so
look at this fancy graphic.
Now, the reward is
it's like a card.
It's not the horse, it's the horn.
Wait
There
for
it
it.
is.
There it
is.
To be super clear, though, because I've had this question, it is not the horse or the horse's armor or the horsey or the
It's
pony.
just the
It is
it's like
actually
the
the
fucking
claw on the back,
wyvern
which we
head.
call the
Witcher
Shava's.
3, I
The cry
get
of a
it.
Shava or a Shava's
The
cry?
cry of a Shaman.
The cry of a shaman, because if you were declawed, you would cry too. But you have to beat a
Wow,
Shava
we're getting
at
a
level
horse?
20. If you beat a Shava at level 19, no claw for you.
You don't get it.
You'll be the one crying, not a Shava. So that was just mean. But
what if I have friends who can like carry me through the combat and I can just go there at level 9?
You have to be level 20 to get the claw. Like, you can beat a Shava, but plus don't be that person. There's 11 people who need another level 20 to show up. Like, do not, if you go early, you're just bringing the team down. Don't go early. Get to level 20. It's not that hard. And then represent.
I'm sure
and then
that'll
you'll get
stop them.
the cool
Okay, well, now they won't
and
do
it's
it
an example
anymore.
of one of the other cosmetic
Yeah,
types
guys,
that
they're not
have
gonna
in
do it
non-shows,
anymore
but
now.
A lot of it is around achievements. Like, we have stuff for PvP where you can demonstrate, like, I'm a badass who kills other players, and so you can have a certain mount trophy for that. So it's a cool new reward. It's just we want people to go in, and so you'll have 9 chances. So what we've done is the game Server Slam will start on Friday at 9 a.m. And then, sorry, at noon, I apologize. Friday at noon, the game Server Slam will start. And then you basically have till Saturday at 9 a.m. to get to level 20. And then at 9 a.m., we start a Shava every 3 hours. So based on that, you'll have 9 chances.
Okay, so it's on Sunday.
To kill a Shava. So those are your windows of opportunity. So highly recommend you spend Friday getting to 20, and then Saturday trying to kill the Shava. And please get to 20 before. Don't be that person. Don't
there's a lot of time to get to 20, and a lot more opportunities now compared to even the beta, where Shava only spawned 4 times that whole entire weekend.
Right.
Now you have a lot more opportunities to actually take down a Shava. It is more of a challenge, as we said before.
Why can't they just like zone anybody out that's like low level?
It absolutely can be done on both world tiers.
I feel like that's what they should do.
With a particular attempt, don't be afraid to step down to adventurer tier.
Yeah, they just zone everybody out.
No shame, none at all.
More work.
One last question before we will wrap up, because this gives an opportunity for people to start downloading.
This is the question I have about
Server
it being pay to
Slam, which is when you spend Smoldering Ash, can you re-roll that Smoldering Ash onto different blessings and so forth?
Like, can you unspend it?
Can you unspend it and put it on other blessings?
Honestly, I'll have to follow up with design.
I will follow up on that.
Ooh, there we go.
And I will provide an answer
You
on that.
stumped us.
Yeah, we've been stumped. We've been stumped.
Yeah, they don't know.
So just a reminder, Server Slam downloads will be starting here momentarily.
It should have already started 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So you should be able to grab it from the BattleNet client, from PlayStation, Xbox as well. And if you already have the beta clients, those will start to update automatically, so you'll be prepared for this weekend. Provide feedback on our forums. You can see all the amazing rewards here and so forth for Server Slam this weekend. Provide all your feedback on the forums. We'll be reading forums, Reddit, social media, and so forth.
That wolf thing is really cool.
Also,
Oh, the puppy. I've got to play this time. I was
this is
working
so cool.
last time. I didn't get the puppy, so
you didn't hit 20 last time?
I didn't. I was working. I couldn't play.
Awesome. I mean, I think to be clear too, I just want to again, as we talk about the realities of development, I feel like the team did an amazing job responding to the feedback on the open beta.
They did.
Being able to make all the changes that made for the dungeon and the font and all the stuff, all the great feedback we had. And we still want that same feedback coming off Server Slam, but please recognize the game went gold a little while ago. We are 22 days away from launch, so our ability to respond in a really big way to feedback is going to be somewhat limited as we're kind of coming into land this airplane, if you will. So we're doing our best, and we're going to respond as best we can. But just in terms of the scope of changes, we were able to do a lot.
Means the game's done. Yeah, I know what it means, but
Server Slam, this is
why
really
would an
meant
average
to be,
person know what it means?
We're getting ready to go live. We want our servers
it's an
we want to make sure our
industry
servers
term.
are ready for that. And so this is what this is about. We still want your feedback. I'm just saying, manage expectations. You may see the results of that feedback more towards season 1 or such. So just something to be
Season 7 is when they'll start listening to feedback, guys.
Lots coming up here this
season
weekend.
7
lots
or
coming
8.
up before launch as well. For Diablo 4, we're obviously really excited. This is actually, I will note, this is our last developer update live stream.
One tier.
Before launch. We will continue these post-launch.
Even if it's just you by yourself, we're talking.
Yeah, I will just jump on a camera and deadpan for 1 hour.
Walking over to Starbucks on your phone.
Yeah.
I imagine we'll be talking a great deal.
Yes.
We've already spoken quite a great deal.
And there's more. There's plenty more where
I
that
haven't
came
even
from.
said a fraction of what I could say.
I mean, that's what it is to be paid by the word.
Yep, it's true.
And just another reminder that all the topics that we discussed today regarding seasons, battle pass, and shop, and so forth, those are actually going to be available on Diablo4.com. We'll have a blog up immediately after this stream, so people can actually take a look there and get more information or read more information if you happen to just jump in halfway through or something like that.
Yeah. Or we spoke too fast.
Yeah.
And you want to read it at your own pace, then that's a good place to go to do that.
Side-eyeing Joe the whole time.
I mean, it did look like, bro, this dude was speed running the last one. Let's be honest.
Joe's great. And at the same time, the Server Slam information, we have a blog up for that as well. And that, again, starts at noon Pacific time, May 12th.
Noon. Yes, noon.
Sorry, noon Pacific time, May 12th. So we hope to see you guys there.
In the U.S., Mother's Day weekend.
Mother's Day weekend.
Blessed Mother's Day weekend.
Blessed Mother's Day weekend in the U.S. and in some participating countries that have not already celebrated Mother's Day.
I know, that's yeah.
I
Or
thought they
will
had that
celebrate Mother's Day
everywhere.
at a different date. But yes. But yeah, thank you guys again for tuning in for another Diablo 4 developer update live stream. Thank you again to this wonderful panel of guests, Rod, Kagan, Joe. We are super excited for launch of Diablo 4, Server Slam this weekend. Rod actually has a special treat for us here.
What?
So my wife got me the button for, this is a thing that came out. There's a 30-second dance party. So why don't we end on a 30-second?
We will end on a 30-second dance party.
All
So
right.
Rod,
Ready?
take us away.
30-second dance party.
There you go.
No, there's no way. There's no way.
Check out Silver Slam.
Server Slam, Server Slam. Please go to the graphic.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Do it for TikTok? Yeah, I thought they were gonna get up and dance. Let's see here. What the fuck was that? He's just trying, bro. Rod's just trying to make his wife happy. You got look at it from the perspective of Rod. You've been working 12-hour days for the last 3 months. The game is almost done. Think about how mad his wife is. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to bring this button on, and maybe she's going to realize that I actually still am paying attention to her, even though I'm working all the time. I can understand why he had to hit the button. I get it, okay? I will say that I think it's kind of funny they brought this lady on. It's basically the fall guy. She's basically the fall guy for all the fucking store stuff. So she's like, can you explain like how the game's monetized? Okay, so like how many things are in the store? Okay, so how does the store work? All right. But like I didn't see the whole part of this, right? I might have missed a few other things, but I think this is all kind of stuff that you would have expected to see. Nothing really here is a surprise. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to choose a sacrificial lamb. Yeah, I don't know about that, but they Wyatt Shanged her. Yeah. And so anyway, I think that this is just pretty much what everybody could have expected from the Diablo 4 store and everything about it, right? No leaderboards. I mean, I don't know why.
Let's go.
Here's why I think they didn't do leaderboards, okay?
All right.
I actually don't think that it has anything to do with the with like having it be ready. I think the reason why they didn't do leaderboards is because they know that it's going to be fucked. They know that there's going to be builds that are like way better than everybody else's build. And I'm not talking like, oh, just a little bit better. I'm talking about like, bro, this ship blows it out of the water. And I think that what's going to happen is that if you don't have leaderboards, the player base can't see that. They can't see how broken some builds are, and they're expecting to go into it with the builds being broken. That's what I'm kind of expecting is going to happen, or is the reason, but I don't really know yet.